Hey friends, me Al, and I was just practicing some pie plates on the treadle wheel. So I'm going to be glazing a little bit later. I have a bunch of mugs and bowls to glaze, so I did some electric pie plates last night, and I have a bunch more to do, so I wanted to practice treadling pie plates. So these are called the Presbyterian Pie Plates. Just having a little fun with the name, right? Because I had the Baptist casseroles. Need to make something for the Presbyterians because we love church dinners. So here I have centered 5 pounds of clay, and we're going to try to push this into a pie plate, right? So it is a bit different, but I kind of like it. It's a lot slower, and you can I don't know. There's just something about the old-timey throwing way, right? So I already got my ball of clay centered. I'm just going to go down here. And now we're going to create the base. I leave that base a little bit thick. And to use the treadle wheel, you need some pretty soft clay, I found. Right? So folks that already treadle, this is not news to them by any means. But to me, this is new old-timey fashion, right? So I'm just pulling this thing out. Now I'm going to go in and flatten that bottom a little bit. So I leave that bottom flat a little bit thicker than I need it, because when I level it out and push it up into the sides, I have room. And what I've been doing too is to flatten the bottom, going backwards. So the treadle wheel is very easy to go backwards, and you don't need to flip a switch or anything like that, or some of the wheels have plug-ins that you turn around. But so I apologize, last night I posted the throwing to my personal page rather than the Pottery page, and I realized that I said I would come on and throw plates, pie plates last night, and I did, but I realized I posted it to the wrong place. Maybe I'll just chalk it up as to being like an old dude or something, right? So now I'm just pushing this out. So I already got a pretty good width. I'm going to raise this edge because I don't want this edge to flare out too much, because I need to pull it up to create the sides. So I'm going to work this bottom a little bit more just to flatten it out. So I found, like last night I was whining about how tough it would be to do on this tread wheel, but if you just let the clay do the work and don't force it too much, it's really not all that bad, because all the old-timey potters, they threw a lot of weight. Like, this is only 5 pounds. So I'm using my rib here, and I just flatten the inside there. So now I'm gonna go back over it just a little bit. So it's a beautiful day out today. Hope to do some glazing later. And I have a firing to do. And hopefully I can get mugs and bowls out for the show on Saturday, Cabin in the Country. And also work for the upcoming pumpkin trail. So now we're going to raise these sides. So I want to leave this rim a bit thick. So now we're going to bring this side out. Give it a little bit of an angle here. So I'm trying to make these nice and deep, because you all said you like to layer these things up. So I'll show it to you. So now I'm going to get some of this slip off here. I'm going to cut the excess clay. So now, like I said, I'm gonna go backwards, right? I'm gonna reverse this wheel, and I'm gonna do a run over the bottom in reverse fashion. Alright, there we have it. So now, I'm going to put in the handles. So I know some people probably won't like this, but you just need something to grab onto when you're pulling this out with your oven mitts, right? Plus it gives it a nice feel. And a pretty nice look, I think. So I try to get it directly across. when you're making 10 or 20 of these, you can always practice on the next one, right? If you screw it up. There we have it. So I need to wire this off. Then we'll try another one, right? So I gotta find my wire. So to wire this off, just go like so. Try not to hurt your fingers. Hold it as tight as possible. There we go. So let's see this. So that's a pretty good sized plate there, right? So I'm going to set this outside. I have 4 of them now. And we'll try another one. Yeah, let me get another board. So if you get a chance, I create a clay pad, and I use these large ceramic tiles. And they work great for biggie pieces. And I put a pad of clay on the wheel head. And then I set them on. So as you can see, like, clay work is pretty muddy, right? So let me get my other ball of clay. Oh, here it is. And I got time to make one more pie plate. Then I need to go eat some dinner. So what I try to do is to slap this into center as much as I can, even before I start, right? Because if the clay isn't centered very well, this thing can push you around. And you'll see what I mean. So now I'm just going to seal that bottom there. And we'll try to throw this thing. So I'm going to try to bring it up and down a few times. May need to get some, so I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. I'm just letting that clay do what it wants. I'm just trying to steadily hold it, steadily. Because if you put a lot of pressure, it's just going to push back. So now I'm just putting a little bit of weight on it to push it down. And just letting it go down naturally. I may need to do this a few times. Yeah, if you were bullying clay all day, your arms are going to get really sore. So it's best not to fight with clay. It's kind of like your spouse. You just, if you need to, you just let him win. So I just put some fresh water in here. So a pie plate is simply a platter with deeper sides, right? So once you get to the point where you can make a pie plate, you can make a platter. Now some folks would just take this all the way down, like I'm doing here. Now I'm going to open this up. I'm going to pull this back. You want to do a nice even pull. So I left that bottom quite thick, like I said before, because you're going to be pressing out. So I'm going to compress the sides, compress this top. So this takes a bit longer than electric, but it allows you to think a little bit about what you're doing. And if you have the garage doors open, you can enjoy the nice day while you're tossing pots, right? So I'm going to bring those sides in a little bit. Compress the top. I'm going to work that bottom. Alright, so now I'm going to see if I can roll this out just a little bit more. Alright. I'm bringing the sides again, because I need to throw the sides straight up. And then we're going to bring it out. If your sides are too flared out, it'll get out of control. So we're just going to go at a nice easy pace here. going to leave that rim a little bit thick. So now we got a pretty good size plate here. We're gonna expand it out just a hair. Now we're gonna work that inside a little bit more. Now, you probably don't have to do this, but I do. Well, we got that right there. There we go. I go backwards, and then compress it from the other way. Now we trim the excess off the bottom. So there isn't too much there, which is kind of nice. So the reason why I do this is because it's less to trim later. I think I'm gonna make that a little bit thinner up there. So I'm gonna bring this up so that I can thin this out just a little bit. Now we're gonna, there we go. So this looks humongous, but this will shrink 14%, and it will give you a fairly decent pie plate. So now I'll put the handles on it. You could probably do this when it's a little bit dry, but don't need to be exact, right? If they want an exact one, they buy one at Walmart. Alright. We're going to take our wire brush, our wire tool, and cut this off. You want to keep it really tight. There you have it. Nice pie plate. I'll hold it up for you. That's a pretty decent size. So there we have it. So thanks for stopping, and hopefully you enjoyed seeing how a Presbyterian pie plate is made on the pottery wheel. So take care, friends. Be well. Remember, I got the Pumpkin Trail show coming up, and so that's what all these pots are for. And I'm hoping to have a real fun time this year. And if I can find somebody to help me out, maybe I'll do some demos for the kids on the treadle wheel. Show them how old-timey, how pots are made in old-timey fashion, right? All right, so take care, friends. Be well. Take care of yourselves and each other, and have a great day.